Right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Techcanvass interviews. I am JD, one of the PMP instructors from Techcanvass, and with us we have a special guest today. She's Anusha Mohan. She is a PMI certified project management professional. So today we'll be discussing with her her experience, her journey, right from where she got the inspiration to do PMP till how she managed her preparation, her time, her workload, and how the experience was, and how was the exam, and how is she maintaining her project management credentials post her PMP certification. So welcome, Anusha. Thanks for your time for discussing this with us. This will be very useful for our aspirants. So we welcome you.
Thank you.
So we'll get started with a very basic question. You can briefly introduce about yourself, your background, your industry, and your project management experience.
Yep, sure. Thank you. So to start with, I am an accomplished program and portfolio manager. I carry an experience of 6+ years in the area of IT project management in various domains such as IT infrastructure, healthcare, and business operations. I have completed my BTech back in 2015 and have been working since then with a IT giant.
Mhm.
Uh, I have an excellent technical skills in using Agile, Scrum, and Waterfall methodology, and I do know different tools of project management like MS Project, Microsoft Project, and Jira, Power BI. I have previously completed my certification like CAPM ITIL V3, and back in July 2020, I have completed my PMP. I am also an internal contributor and guide for the PMP aspirants in my organization.
Nice to know
So
that.
that's pretty much about me.
Okay, and it's interesting to know that you have a proper structured journey so far. So you started with CAPM. That's the ideal starting place for project managers, professional
Yep.
area. Okay. So now I have one more question, but I'll probably take it in the last so that we stay in context based on what you told.
Yep.
Uh,
Sure.
Now, you did mention that you did your PMP in July 2020, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
Uh, was it PMBOK 6th edition? I believe it was PMBOK 6th edition at that point of time.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. So we'll take a lot of steps back. What inspired you to do PMP? What was the trigger?
There were a lot of reasons why I wanted to do PMP. One of them were it adds value to your resume.
Hmm.
Because there are several professional certificates and certifications that you can pursue throughout your career. But among all of them, I think PMP certification is the most valuable one. Reason being, it is renowned globally.
Mhm.
Even if you are filling it up in a in a position of project manager, you do things you do learn things in PMP wherein you can apply it into a business analyst role or a consulting role. Hence, I wanted to do PMP certification. Now there was another reason that was it provides industry recognition. Now, if you ask me, as I said earlier, it's a globally renowned program. So even if you do that course sitting in India, you maybe are eligible for a job in other countries as well because you carry the highest certification of a project management professional.
True, true.
After that, the third and the foremost reason was it provide me networking opportunities around the world
Mhm. Very
because
important.
as of now we have close to 7,73,000 active PMI members, I'm sorry,
True.
who are PMP certificate holders as well. So you get to connect with them, understand what is happening around the world. So these were the reasons why I opted for the PMP exam.
Perfect. So good. If I have to summarize it well, it is the recognition that it has globally, the demand that
Yeah.
we have in the market, and more importantly, in my opinion, that's the most important point is that you get to network with various project management professionals out there as well, because you
Yeah.
got to know what challenges that other project managers are facing as well. So that would be quite a useful information.
Yeah.
Interesting. So Uh, we understand the motivation behind your PMP certification. So, how long was the preparation for you? The entire code preparation for the exam?
Yep. So the actual preparation for me took close to 6 months. But in my personal opinion, if you are readily giving 3 hours every day for 3 months, that should be good enough to prepare for the PMP exam.
Okay, 3 months, sweet spot. Okay.
Yeah.
And how did you plan the preparation?
So, the way I planned my preparation was I did not just go for one reference book.
Mhm.
Instead, I recommend to use two reference book to get a different perspective of PMP exam, because PMBOK will give you a concept or an understanding of the project manager role and how we work on the project. Afterward, you need a different perspective to the whole concept, wherein you can practice some questions at a mock test. This will help you find your knowledge areas and gaps in between the study.
Mm.
So, in a nutshell, you should always go for more than one reference book.
Okay.
Of course, Bimbok is the Bible. I suggest you to at least go through PMBOK once,
Mhm.
but maybe another reference book for your help.
Sure.
That's how I prepared myself.
Okay.
So that is what my preparation time was all about.
So, do you remember what was the other reference book that you used by any chance?
One was Rita,
Return guide.
yes, and then I went through some simulators, and yep, that was it.
True, true. No, I often have this analogy of Pinbock guide versus Oxford dictionary, right? You get to know the meanings of the terminologies, but for you to
Yep,
build situations around them, you need a proper prep guide apart from the Pinbock guide. So that would help you for the exam questions more importantly. Completely agree on that. Now,
yep.
one of the most frequent questions we get from aspirants is that they have their daily workload from their job.
Mhm.
Preparing for them is it's a challenge, right? One day you have a lot of workload, other day you may be quite lean on the work. So how did you manage the workload versus preparation? How did you balance
So to start with, you should at least spend 1 hour in a day, maybe right after your office or maybe in the beginning of the day, you know, and then later on weekends, you can spend, let's say, 2 or 3 hours, depending upon your capacity to study and sit at a place
that?
and focus, of course. After that, you just need to increase it day by day so that, you are in a space where you are able to manage your work and the time as well, because you have just started from 1 hour. Maybe there will be days when you have got 3 or 4 hours to study. Why not study then? That's
True.
what my understanding is. And also, I have made cheat sheets
Hmm.
and notes, consigned notes, wherein I used to paste them in the room somewhere around my study table or my monitor, and I used to go through them for me to understand or learn the formulas and knowledge areas or the processes well. So to prepare yourself, maybe start with giving 1 or 2 hours in a day, and you can expand that to 3 or 4, or maybe depending upon if you have 4 or 5 hours.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Got it. Now, if you take the whole preparation as a whole, what do you remember as the biggest challenge in the entire preparation?
Honestly speaking, remembering knowledge areas, processes, and there were what total of 42 processes
Yeah.
in nine knowledge area and five processes. See, I
You still
that
remember
was the most, yes, that was the most challenging one, because going through them initially was quite overwhelming for me. But once
that?
you understand that there is a knowledge area, this process has an input which goes, this process has an output which goes as an input for the other process. When you understand all these concepts, then it starts making sense in your head.
True. So I agree totally on that. I had the same challenge to memorize the ITTOs when I was preparing for PMP as well. Yeah. In fact, most of them are still in my memory. Uh, we understand the challenging part, the preparation part. As the exam day approach, right? How was the anxiety levels and how did you manage that?
Oh my God, I still remember the anxiety level was higher than normal. I mean, as I prepared myself, uh, around the exam, I felt, I am at a sweet spot after, studying.
Mhm.
But then once that day arrives, everything just messes around. You don't know what to do. So what I did, I made sure that I go through those cheat sheets
Mhm.
before the exam or on the day of the exam. Maybe some notes. I made sure that I go through all of them. Then to relax myself, I played some inspirational songs, and then I grabbed something to eat to make sure that, I don't starve for those 5 hours. And then I just sat down and gave my exam. And I took a home-based exam, so it was all, in around my own room,
Okay,
sitting and giving the exam. That's it.
nice. So did you do any mock exams as a part of your preparation?
Yes, a lot of them, because I think
Okay,
those are the points wherein you realize how much prepared are you for your exams. So
got
yes,
it, got it. So do you have any do's and don'ts for the aspirants? Any suggestions there?
if you ask me, and I think most of us, the PMP certificate holders will agree to that. The first do's is that you should be not attempting your mock test right after you understand a concept. The mock test should be attempted once you know each and everything about project management, not
Mhm.
after every subject or maybe after every topic.
Mhm.
Because attempting questions immediately with the start of preparation, you will know the topics, right?
Mhm.
You have just read about it. But then you need to understand all the topics to know what situational question or what answer to that situational question would be. So that was the do's that you should. I'm sorry, don'ts that you should never go for. Do not attempt questions immediately after completion of a topic. The do's I would say should be always make a cheat sheet
Mhm.
of of the formulas or of the knowledge areas or input outputs for
Mhm.
your reference purpose. Because let's say if we are talking about stakeholder management and we are on the topic of cost management, you cannot go back and understand what was the input, what was the output. In this case, you will have a reference to look into.
Yeah, quick reference.
Yeah.
Interesting. And the don'ts part as well. If you try to attempt a mock exam before you're ready, it may be demotivating as well. The score may be demotivating. Yeah,
Yep, can be. But if you score well, you will not even know that you have actually read it correctly or you have understood the topic correctly, or is
Mhm.
just you have just gone through that topic and you know the answers.
Correct, correct.
It's
Sometimes
it's
we need to
mystery.
know. Yes, exactly. I mean, sometimes we need to know why is the answer right as well. We need the proper understanding of that as well, not only wrong. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, did the certification, PMP certification, reward your career?
Immensely. Not just the salary part, wherein the salary changed to some other digit, but it has evolved me as a project manager. For example, now I know that I need to perform a SWOT analysis to successfully overcome project risk.
Mhm.
Or maybe, it has enhanced the communication between the stakeholders. Because before PMP, I wasn't even aware who are the important stakeholders apart from just the clients.
Mhm.
But
True.
now we know who are the major stakeholders who we just need to, have a look at. So all of this I understood after giving PMP exam.
Okay. And in terms of skill sets, right? Did you see notice any difference in the application of project management skill sets before you got certified and after you got certified? Like estimation, for example, or anything like that?
Definitely. So what happened after giving or after preparing for PMP? I know that from providing project vision and direction to increasing efficiency and managing and being held accountable for the project or the rigid budget, I have done everything now. I know
Hmm.
how you need to work on all of this, how to, how to maybe work on a project with different set of methodologies. It
Hmm.
can be Agile, Scrum, and Waterfall. How to manage scope creep,
Hmm.
which is a very big question for a project manager. So I know all of this, so it has enhanced my skill. And I said, as I said earlier, it has evolved me, it has helped me evolve as a project manager.
Okay, nice. Uh, Now, with any professional certification for that matter,
Mhm.
you get trained, you get certified, you accumulate new skill sets, you apply them on the job. But the equal challenge that comes is how to stay yourself relevant to the industry, right? Whatever is trending, whatever is coming new. I think the same challenge is applicable to project management as well. So, ever since you got PMP certified, how are you staying up to date with the trends in the industry? What kind of approaches are you having?
Okay. I hope most of the aspirants know this part. But once you're a PMP certified, you get a free ticket to the local chapter of PMI. I am a member of Bangalore chapter. So I get to connect with people. I get up to dated because of them, because of the meets happen in Bangalore chapter.
Mhm.
Then of course, internet plays its role. You get, because of the certification, I get emails from PMI, letting me know about the changes in the program or the changes in the concept. For example, this time it was PMBOK 7. We
Mm.
got the details beforehand that that PMI is about to release PMBOK 7. So these are how we keep ourselves up to date, or myself up to date rather. And of course, Tech Canvas, on the other hand, it makes sure that it sends me email or keep me posted about the recent changes in the program or recent changes in the certification. So, and I'm thankful for Tech Canvas about that. So this is how I keep myself up to date.
Glad to know those emails were useful for you. Um Now, the two things to it. The PMI chapters that you attend, what kind of meetings happen there? Do you recollect anything from your past meetings?
It is more into the lines of the new concepts of project management,
Mhm.
or maybe let's say if the PMBOK 7 was about to release and we were focusing more on agile part this time than
True.
just the waterfall. So maybe discussion around that, how if there are any challenges which can come up in a project. So these are the kind of meetings that happens in the PMI chapter.
True. True.
Now you will be able to learn it from some other's experience, and you
Mm.
will know that you have to work according to that in your own project, and maybe you can become a better project manager.
Absolutely. Yes. So, extending on top of what you said, the challenges that other projects are facing in the industry, you may face it someday. So, if you get to know how they solved it, maybe you can do it better, or you can use it as it is. So, it's very
Absolutely.
useful.
Yep.
And on top of that, there is a 60 PDU renewal that PMI mandates you for you to renew your certification once in every 3 years. So that 60 PDU or 60 hours of roughly translator training can be used more efficiently in such events also. So uh, quite useful. So I'm pretty much done with my questions, Anusha. Do you have any parting shots or any message for our PMP aspirants?
Just one thing, it's not as difficult as it sounds, or people telling you guys that it's difficult. No, it's not. You just have to understand the concepts well, and you will be through in your first attempt. That is it. Just go through
Great.
the concepts well, make cheat sheets, go through the situational questions, mock test, and you will be through. That is it.
Sure. Thanks a lot, Anusha. One question I wanted to ask, which came from your very first answer, I thought it's slightly out of topic. Uh, you said you also do portfolio and program management, right?
Yes.
Okay. Uh, did you do any certification as well on top of PMP, or was PMP sufficient for you to handle at least basic level of program and portfolio management?
PMP was sufficient enough for me to get to land this job. So I started off as a project manager. After doing PMP, I got this opportunity in another organization as a program and portfolio manager. So just because of PMP, I have these opportunities in front of them. I mean, in front of me, I'm sorry.
Nice. That's inspiring. Uh, I'm pretty much done. It was very helpful having you here. I myself had a couple of good takeaways from your experience. Thanks for your time, Anusha, and our aspirants will definitely find useful all this information. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you, Jankina.
Thank you.
And all the best to everyone who's giving the exam.
Sure.